In this video, we'll do a short review of thirds and see how thirds are used in the song Surviving the Times by Nas. Thirds are intervals that involve three letter names. The most common types of thirds or qualities of thirds are minor thirds and major thirds. A minor third will have a distance of 3 semitones between the two notes, like one you see here, D and B. And a major third will have the distance of 4 semitones. Utilizing the same letter names, D and B, we can increase that distance by making B a B flat and D, or D a D sharp, B and D sharp. Augmented thirds and diminished thirds do exist, but mostly in theory. They happen in the literature much more rarely than minor thirds and major thirds do. The bass beat for Nas's Surviving the Times actually is a sample from a song by Nipsey Russell, which is written for the musical The Wiz. The song is called What Would I Do If I Could Feel? Here's how it sounds like. Right? And then it would repeat over and over again. Mostly this, I mean, it's a little bit more complex than what I have here. There's some flourishes up high in the piano, and so a little bit of a trumpet solo there at the beginning of the song at least. But mostly this is what it is, right? It's a 2-bar repetitive cell upon which Nas then raps. Once we look into the music of this 2-bar cell, we find out in its perhaps bare bones or in its essence, it's all about thirds. So let's look first at the highest line here, right? Which the highest voice being called the melody here, what it's doing. So if you'll notice here from the key signature, we have 2 sharps. And that offers us 2 possibilities, either D major or B minor. But we can see upon the insistence of this B here, returning at the downbeat, right, of each 2-bar cell, that B minor is a more likely possibility. So we have on top here F sharp moving down, and once again, only later to come back up. Right? F sharp being scale degree 5, E being 4, D being 3. And then we come back up. 5, right? 3, 4, 5. And then it repeats that over and over. So at first, it seems like we're moving in seconds, right? F sharp to E major second, E down to D major second. We stay there for a while until we come back up to F sharp through a series of 2 major seconds. Let's look at the bass first. The bass is moving down first by a perfect fourth. Right? We're in scale degree 1, B. We go to scale degree 5, which we're just in the melody here. And then we go up. It's the kind of the only ascending interval we have here in one of the outer voices. Right, in this first bar. Everything else is going down. And then we stay there, and then the bass does something small here where it's basically a neighbor tone here. Right? Where we go from that F sharp that we were just before, back to G, up to A by a major second, and then finally back to B, which is our goal here, being in B minor, scale degree 1. So it doesn't feel at first that this song or this beat here is about thirds, but in essence, if we look at the downbeat of bar 1 and the downbeat of bar 2, right? What we have here is F sharp and D on the top outer voice, on the melody here. F sharp to D, which happens here is syncopated, right? From just the last half of the upbeat of this bar into the downbeat of the second bar is syncopated from there. What we have between F sharp and D is a descending major third. What we have between the downbeat of this bar, and once again, the syncopated downbeat of the second bar, which actually happens on the last half of the upbeat of the previous bar here, B to G, scale degree 1 to scale degree 6, is also a major third, a descending major third. So basically what we're doing here is between the bars, right? If I'm just playing the downbeats, of course, when I put it like that, it sounds very, I don't know, like a dirge, very somber and kind of macabre. But that's basically what's happening here. Right? It's this descending major third, and then it comes back to, on the next downbeat, to where we were before. So there's this cyclical aspect to it, that we descend by a major third and ascend by a major third in the melody and in the bass as well. We go from B to G, and then from G back to B. So we're cycling through those notes using major thirds. Right. Of course, that would be pretty boring, so in its inner parts, it's filled with seconds and a perfect fourth here at the very beginning, right? Because otherwise, it wouldn't be music. But that's basically what's happening. There's another case to be made here to emphasize this idea of this cyclical nature of this gesture, and a cyclical nature based on major thirds, which is these chords, right? The ones that are focusing here on the downbeats are the ones that last the longest, right? So we have here two beats sitting on this tonic chord. And then on this chord here, we have, if we put everything together, 3.5 beats, maybe almost 4 beats, depending on how you look at it, on the submediant chord here. Right, so it's this major seconds, right, and this chord here, these chords here, they're basically connecting the tonic and the submediant chord. So basically, it's this alternation, right? Once we hear with the chorus, then it sounds a little bit more musical than with just the outer voices. And then finally, when we add in the finer details, right? And we can see it actually feels a lot more musical, a lot better. But in its essence, it's a cyclical gesture involving descending and ascending major thirds. Okay, hopefully this was helpful. Thanks for watching. Bye.